3 minutes to go in the first. It's 21-17 Nuggets. And Eldon Campbell going strong to the basket is fouled. And that personal foul will be against Dean Carrott, his first. And Hubie and I will be back to McNichols Arena in just a moment. Wells' apology with the incident with P.J. Carlesimo. But Hubie, there's no question, at least publicly, that the player crossed the line that has never been crossed before in the NBA. You're a former coach. It could have been you there, and I'm sure you can identify with being a coach when you are attacked by a player.
Yeah, look, every guy who's coached hockey, football, basketball has been in situations. Some of them happen out on the practice court, but the majority of them happen behind closed doors. This is the first one where it's happened out in public. And then we not only have the attack, but we have the strangling and then also the verbal, I'll kill you. And then after calming down, coming back into the gym and attacking the coach again and hitting the coach. So now we know that he's gotten 10 games. But we realize that the league has not been heard from yet. And we know that if the league steps in here after their investigations, we know that this thing can get to be very serious.
How upset are you over seeing this
absolutely. I think that anyone who is ever a coach, forget the level of NBA, how about college, high school, Little League? What does this say, and what is the message which is sent throughout all of coaching? So that means that any time that you go after people through constructive criticism, or any time that you're angry and you go after a guy, that he has the right to stand up here now and punch you out. You're not punching him. What you're trying to do is do your job. You coach according to your personality. And for all these people who are saying the present-day player, I'll give you at least 10 guys in the NBA who coach with an A personality, and I'll give you just as many guys who coach college basketball who are tough and in the faces of their players. Are there guys who are stepping back and are staying within their personality? You coach with what God gave you. Your personality is either aggressive or it's stand backage or middle of the road. So you just cannot. Who knows what is really gone down here in many other situations
that we don't know about.
That's absolutely.
But we know about this one, and the thing is that there's no such thing as an attack on somebody.
Absolutely not.
Tony Battie, who has been out with injury with a sprained ankle and is expected to play 15 minutes or so tonight. One of the 5 rookies on this team missed a shot. Derek Fisher, who is an outstanding rookie last year, scored before, and Kobe Bryant also in the game. So we have a lot of youth out on the floor now, Hubie.
Yeah, and Battie is a main shot blocker, rebounder, get out in the open floor, athletic type of a player.
And a fine play by Derek Fisher, and using his body as he goes to the basket. Fisher with 4 points off the bench as the backup point guard for Nick Van Exel.
See, Fisher is steady. He gives you defense. He gets you into your offenses. He also gives you points and assists and also rebounding.
Look at the shooting percentage. Lakers 63, Nuggets 47, and yet the Laker lead is only 1.
Well, that's because of the turnovers, Dick. They're getting out, they're getting more shots.
Johnny Newman with a fall away off the glass. Battie inside, and they will call a loose ball foul underneath.
Yeah, they're calling it against Denver. And any time that you're coaching a team and a guy gets an offensive rebounding foul, you never upset with that guy because he's working. He's gone in there and he's taken physical contact.
And he touched the
right
there.
Yeah, he did. He grabbed it with his left hand right there. All right. They had to make up their mind here right now because you could see the Lakers were pointing to the fact that he grabbed the rim. One referee called for a foul, loose ball foul.
Sean Rooks for the Lakers and Priest Lauderdale, who stands at 7'4". There is Rooks, who has done everything Del Harris has asked him as a backup center now with Shaq out and Campbell manning. And there is Lauderdale at 7'4", who played with the Atlanta Hawks last year, a project for sure, but one you want to live with at 7 feet 4 inches. Here's Kobe Bryant working his way in, and we'll call a blocking foul against the Nuggets with 1:09 remaining in the first quarter.
Well, Bobby Jackson is, he's kind of saying, I can't believe that you called that. Mainly because he used the reverse dribble, and backed right into me.
That is the 15th foul against the Nuggets, so Kobe Bryant will be on the line. He leads the NBA reserves, averaging over 15, but misses the first game. Well, coming up on Turner Sports, NBA action continues Friday night. Karl Malone and the Mailman against the Trailblazers. Knicks and Bulls next Tuesday on TNT, and Lakers Warriors a week from tonight on TBS. All games starting 8 o'clock Eastern on Turner Sports.
Now, Kobe Bryant comes in shooting. He's averaging 13 shots a game. And for you to put this in perspective, that's the same amount of shots that Jones and Van Exel get on this team. And even when the big guy's there, O'Neal, he only averages 16.
And missing from the corner, Tony Battie, and the Lakers, who have run off 6 in a row, bringing it back down under a minute to go. 23-21 in favor of the Lakers, and Kobe Bryant hits from 3. Bryant, who has been the best off the bench, and in that loss on the road trip, when they lost 2 out of 3, the Lakers did in the East, he scored 19 in the game against the Sixers. Jackson, and a foul away from the basket. Rooks and Lauderdale down low.
Well, yeah, I liked what I saw there. Lauderdale was double teamed. He kicked the ball out, and then he tried to repost. When you repost, Rooks can put his forearm across Lauderdale's back, but he cannot use his hands. Now watch, see, there it is that there. Now he's going to kick the ball out. Now once he kicks the ball out, you see the hands? The hands are on him right now.
Right.
That is an automatic foul. You're not allowed to do that.
Priest Lauderdale, who's a good free throw shooter, 15 of 18, and nearly 83% from the line, makes the first one. Priest Lauderdale, who is earmarked perhaps to be the backup center next year for this Denver team.
Well, Billy Hanslick speaks very highly of him. You know, he's 7'4", 320. They feel that with a year's experience and everything that they'll be able to get him to back up and be a strong backup in a year.
And the ball is kicked away. And Hugh Hollins didn't see it. The other referee did, and it's Denver ball, and they're pushing it up in a hurry.
Strong.
And there's Lauderdale. Priest Lauderdale, all 7'4" of him, releasing down court and a quick basket. And the Lakers' lead is 1. Goldwire in the game, and he is guarding Kobe Bryant. Final seconds of the first quarter, and the Denver Nuggets playing the LA Lakers as tough as you want. Here's Bryant working in, and Fisher for 3.
See, they're so dangerous, Dick. They're so dangerous on the perimeter. And there was no reason to double-team Bryant in that situation and open up a guy for a 3.
But Kobe Bryant with a 3-point basket, and they're going to put 0.4 of a second back on the clock. Eldon Campbell, 5 of 6, and the rest of the team shooting over 50% from the field. So the Lakers getting hot shooting against the Nuggets. As you mentioned, though, the turnovers keeping Denver in the game.
Yeah, I was shocked to see that they left the 3-point shooter to double-team Kobe Bryant at the top of the circle. And you could see right there, and then all they did is just kick back, and it's in your face.
Derek Fisher, 7 points in only 3 minutes off the bench. And here's the loop to Kobe Bryant from Fisher. It's knocked away, and that is the end of the first quarter, with the Lakers leading the Nuggets 29-25, sparked by Eldon Campbell's 11 points.
Trouble, I got game galore. Watch the turnaround jumper. Watch me come like thunder. Is it the shoes you wonder? Grab the bound, dish the pill. Grant Hill coming through, displaying ultimate skills. GH4 owning the paint, leaving you right where you stand. Moving too quick, you're too late. I'm going hard to the rack. Your game's whack. When I attack, stay back, way back. GH4 by Fila, change the game.
Vince Giuliani back at the TBS studios. You might recall Boston snapping an 11-game losing streak to Chicago back on opening night. They returned to the Fleet Center to the Bulls, closing out a 7-game trip. Co-coach to Michael Jordan not accounted for on that play. Late in the third, 71-54, Chicago. Michael Jordan with 20 so far. We'll keep you posted. Right now, back to Denver, Dick and Hubie.
All right, Vince, thanks very much. I didn't think the Bulls would go down twice after that opening night shocker.
At the end of the first quarter, Denver shooting 46%, LA 67%. The foul tries, Denver 5 for 6, LA 3 for 6. Rebounding a wash, LA with 4 turnovers.
Derek Fisher and Kobe Bryant start with Rick Fox, Sean Rooks, and Corey Blunt for the Lakers, who lead by 4 as we start the second quarter. 5 on the shot clock, and Kobe Bryant shooting over Jackson was hit on the wrist.
Yeah, that was a good call.
And will go to the line to shoot 2.
Very good call. You always try to get across the young players, stop trying to foul guys when they go up on a jump shot. You're not going to block this guy's shot. Just keep an eye at this. See where he got him? He caught him right on the wrist. First of all, he's giving him at least 5 to 6 inches, plus the length of his arms, and that's exactly where he caught him, below the wrist. Let him take the shot, pressure the shot, but don't foul him.
Kobe Bryant has struggled from the free throw line. He was an 82% shooter last year from the stripe, comes in 74%. So he's down a little bit in that category. Bobby Jackson picking up his second personal foul. Starts in the backcourt along with Anthony Goldwire for the Nuggets. Up front, Johnny Newman, Priest Lauderdale, and Tony Batty.
Watch out for the half-court trap here now. That's the first time we've seen this tonight. This is what the Lakers are famous for.
Jackson, and that is Petit, I should say, and that is banked in. 31 to 27.
What worked there, Dick? He took the trap, he gave a ball fake, and he made the defense rotate and went right over the defense. Beautiful pass.
Rick Fox over Petit, and the rebound by Johnny Newman. I was thinking of Earl Batty, the old catcher with Minnesota, but not really. Bobby Jackson controls outside. No one remembers him. Lakers lead 31-20.
Baseball?
Well, I dabbled in it.
You did get a few checks for baseball, didn't you?
10 seconds on the shot clock for the Nuggets. They go into Priest Lauderdale against Brooks, and he is fouled hard from behind by Kobe Bryant.
See, Brooks right now has got to understand that he can't foul this guy. He's got to, like, bump him out and say, hey, Priest, you got to make the shot. You know, now just watch it. See, why foul him? Stop pushing him with your 2 hands in his lower back. Make the guy make a field goal up over the top of you.
Priest Lauderdale from Central State, a second-round pick. And coming in for the Nuggets is Eric Washington, who picked up 2 fouls early. Bobby Jackson goes out. He has 2, so the 2 rookie guards exchange places right now. And Lauderdale misses both free throws. As we said earlier, he has been a good free throw shooter this year. Rick Fox going strong and fouled by Lauderdale. Yeah, first foul.
Yeah, unfortunately for Denver, you know, you get an opportunity, you get 2 freebies. You could have closed the gap, and then what happens? They not only get the rebound, but they throw an outlet pass all the way to half court, and then they beat you 3-on-2 to the basket.
Rick Fox, who was a good pickup from the Boston Celtics, and in talking with Del Harris earlier, what did he see differently than what he expected from Rick Fox? He says he's a lot tougher player than he had thought.
Well, you know, anytime you only play a team twice during a year, Dick, and that's what L.A. played Boston, you know the guy can score, you know he can pass. Yeah, they said he played defense, but the one thing you didn't know is his physical toughness. Now, here comes the trap again. This is a 2-2-1.
5-point lead for the Lakers, and Eric Washington waits for Johnny Newman to get in the picture. And again, they go low to Lauderdale, the double team, and the extra pass. Good passing by the Nuggets. Washington misses, but T tries to keep it alive and does.
Nice.
Rookie from Texas Tech, very active out there, and Johnny Newman misses a 3. If only the Nuggets could hit some of their shots, they'd be a lot closer. Here's Bryant and Goldwire.
Nice.
Really knocked it away. A no-look pass by Kobe Bryant. That was a brilliant no-look pass to Corey Blunt for the basket. And they trap again and get the ball back, the Lakers.
That's smart basketball.
And Fox is fouled by Goldwire, and that is a smart foul by Goldwire as well.
Now, just keep an eye on this pass by Kobe Bryant. Now, see, right now, you always run the lane right to the front of the rim, big people. And then you're hoping that you're playing with guys that once you're open, that they'll get you the ball. That was a great pass by Kobe Bryant to Blount, who never gave up on the play.
Great talent Kobe Bryant has, and he's got so much road ahead of it.
3-1 trap. Now, here they are right here in this situation, okay? Now, once they get you to give up the pass, the ball is going to be passed, and then they're going to come with a trap. Now, here they come. They come over here into this area, and I'll hold it right there. Now, you see, you get the trap. Now, watch this ball fake to get Eddie Jones to shoot the gap. Instead, Jackson moves, and they throw right over the press. Now, keep an eye on it now. Now, that was beautiful. Now, that opens up Jackson for a nice 15-footer, and he knocks it home. Excellent ball movement.
All right, let's go to Scott Hastings. Scott?
Thanks, Dick. That last time out, Bill Hanzig doing just what Huey was talking about, breaking down what the Lakers are trying to do on that press. In fact, they played last night in Houston, weren't scheduled for a practice, came in for about 30 minutes working against the press there. So far in the game, 2 of 7.
All right, Scott, thank you very much. A little more than 3 minutes have gone by here in the second quarter. The Lakers lead by 7, and a turnaround by Corey Blunt. Rebound by Sean Rooks off the offensive glass. Here's Kobe Bryant down the middle. Block. And a great block inside by Danny Fortson. And Johnny Newman keeps his head about him, and he's fouled inside by Rick Fox. Good defense inside by Danny Fortson on one end.
Yeah, knocked that one loose. And now a lot of people might say, hey, wait a second. Here goes Kobe Bryant down the lane. And there it is right there. Fortson gets the deflection, knocks it open. Going in the other way, people might say, hey, why didn't Newman pass the ball? There was no one up ahead of him. So he kept it because he knew he could take that guard to the rim.
Johnny Newman on the free throw line now with 6 points. Newman, Fortson, and Bobby Jackson with 6 points leading the Nuggets.
Well, throughout Newman's career, Dick, an 11-point scorer, he shoots 80% on the line, and you just know that he can score. He's got a ton of confidence in his game.
Second leading scorer on the Nuggets. And Eric Williams, of course, was the leading scorer, played in only 4 games before he went out with that ACL loss for the season. Now Brian Stiff looks like he's lost for the season as well. Kobe Bryant with a line drive shot, 8 points, and the Lakers have 17 points off the bench. They lead it 36-29. 7-point lead for the Lakers. And here is Lauderdale with an air ball. Rooks might have gotten his hand on the basketball. Here is Derek Fisher. Fisher working around Goldwire, and the rebound taken off by the Lakers. Corey Blunt got the offensive rebound. Bryant spinning his way in over Washington and hits. A lot of second chances by the Lakers on that sequence.
Now, if you're watching Bryant for the first time, you're noticing something. He wants that reverse dribble before he takes that shot. He does the spin move, backs into you, and then goes and fades on the jump shot. Now, just keep an eye right here. This is a block by Lauderdale. The ball's going to go right out to Bryant. They come right down in and run that reverse move and the bucket. Now, just watch. See, he loves to do the spin. Then he measures you up as he fades on that shot.
Rick Fox committing a Laker foul at the other end, and Dean Garrett has returned to center, replacing Chris Lauderdale for the Denver Nuggets. 3.5 minutes elapsed in the second quarter. Fortson posting up against Corey Blount, and an illegal defense called against the Lakers. That's the first one against L.A. tonight.
Right now, your Billy Hanslick, you have to be very careful, because the Lakers are stepping it up right now, and they're trapping the second unit time and time again at half court. They're not reading whether they're in a trap or whether they're in a fake trap back into man-to-man. So they're settling for some bad shot attempts.
Johnny Newman, and it's tipped up and in by Fortson. So Fortson, who has earned his way into the starting lineup. Tony Petit not ready to play a full game. Joe Wolf had been the starter the last several games, but he has yet to get off the bench. Offensive foul is the call, and that will go against Sean Rooks. That'll be his second personal foul.
Now, Rooks was complaining, but he definitely moved. I thought maybe he was on the verge of a tee there.
Came close.
Fortson gives you rebounding and points. Joe Wolf just gives you good defense and some movement. Now, you can see right there, Rooks moved first. Now, Rooks is all upset, but he did move.
And now we've had a stoppage of play and a lot of coaches staring at officials. And non-movement going on right now. Eddie Jones wants to check back into the game for the Lakers. And he will, replacing Rick Fox. Fox goes out with 3 points and 2 personal fouls. Those are Eddie Jones's numbers in the brief time he was in the first quarter. Fortson inbounds. That was a good deal for the Denver Nuggets. As Fox, shaking his head, goes back to the Laker bench. They got Johnny Newman, Joe Wolf, and Fortson in the Irvin Johnson trade. Newman looking inside for Fortson. 6 on the shot clock. Danny Fortson powers his way in and draws the foul. He looks like a good power forward who's going to go to the line a lot.
Well, Dick, you know, you look at this guy, and he gives you 260 pounds on that frame. So you're not talking about a guy, you know, who you're going to just bulldoze out of there. He's 6'7", 260. He has a presence in the post. He can make the jump shot facing the basket, and he'll get on the boards for you.
He is the third leading rebounder amongst rookies in the NBA.
Well, I think what they also like about him is he has the ability to get you seven times double figures.
Also in the Laker lineup, number 9, Nick Van Exel.
Thornton with 10 points and 2 rebounds. Eldon Campbell has come in replacing Sean Rooks, and now Derek Fisher goes out. Nick Van Exel returns to the game. Thornton with 1 free throw. A 6-point Laker lead with 7:35 remaining in the first half. So Van Exel now guarded by Anthony Goldwire, the former Charlotte Hornet. Corey Blunt challenging Dean Garrett.
Kobe Bryant took the double team and then moved it right to the sideline, and that opened up a 2-on-1 on the other side of the lane and made the pass.
Bryant has 3 assists and a couple of beauties in the passing department. Fortson fighting his way in, couldn't score, and the rebound guy Corey Blunt. So it's Van Exel, Bryant, and Eddie Jones with Blunt and Campbell. Relatively small team out there for the Lakers, but it's working for them as the ball kicked out of bounds. And a new clock.
Now just watch the double team. See, this is smart. Take the double team away. Now on this side, you have a 2-on-1. You see Garrett was late to come out. Why? Because he was guarding against Campbell down inside. But Kobe Bryant read the double team, extended the lane, and then made the pass.
LaFonso Ellis is into the game, and going out is Newman. Newman had 7. And Corey Blunt now with 6 off the bench. 23 points off the bench tonight by the LA Lakers, who lead 42-32. 10-point lead. This is the Lakers' biggest lead of this game. And the double team on Ellis and the steal. 3-on-1 break. Van Exel no look, and the 2 no-look passes. Van Exel and Kobe Bryant and Eddie Jones is the beneficiary, and a timeout called by Denver.
Well, they're just killing him with the quick double teams. When they double team, they're shooting the passing lane. And watch this touch pass by Kobe Bryant.
That's a beautiful sequence of passing. The Lakers at 58% from the field. We'll be right back.
On TBS is brought to you by Red Lobster. If you like the finger roll, you'll love our cheddar rolls. Red Lobster, because life on land is dry. And by Maximum Television, only from Sony.
The story of the second quarter is the trapping of the Lakers. Here's the basketball right here. The Lakers are trapping. Now, an offensive player is going to move out. Van Exel is shooting the gap. And just watch it. This has been going on time and time again in this 6-minute period, giving them 2-on-1, 3-on-2 situation. Here's the trap again.
And they haven't been able to handle it. Eric Washington goes in, and he lays it in. Eric Washington gets his first points. Washington, rookie from Alabama, and it's a 10-point game. The Lakers had run off 6 in a row in less than a minute to open up their biggest lead of the game, halfway through the second quarter. And Garrett and Campbell shoving inside. And a foul called against Dean Garrett, and that will be his second.
Excellent call. That time, Campbell came over. He was going to set a screen and roll, dropped into the post. Garrett gets caught with both hands in the lower back.
Kobe Bryant, Campbell, and Exel and Jones, along with Sean Rooks for the Lakers. Bryant feeding Eldon Campbell, who was hot early. Campbell hit 5 of his first 6 shots, missed from the baseline. Bobby Jackson back in the game. Jackson and Washington, the 2 rookie guards, both playing with 2 personal fouls. Short with that shot is Dean Garrett and the Lakers. So the Nuggets struggling when they've had a chance to get a good look. And there is Eddie Jones hitting from downtown. There is no more prolific backcourt tandem in the NBA shooting threes than Nick Van Exel and Eddie Jones.
Oh, this is a tough cover for Alfonso Ellis. He's playing Eddie Jones, and you can see he's behind him.
Double fake, and inside, Fortson foul.
At one end, you see the Lakers with their small unit, with Eddie Jones at the small forward position. At the other end, you have LaFonso Ellis at your small forward. Well, you've got to take advantage of Eddie Jones and go power and go down inside. You cannot let a team stay small and play to their strength while you are not punishing them at the other end of the floor.
Fortson over 80% from the free throw line, but he misses the first. And Robert Horry, who picked up 2 early fouls and came out without scoring a point, will come in for Corey Blunt. It's been the Laker bench that has done most of the damage, with Kobe Bryant with 10. Derek Fisher on the bench now with 7, and Blount, who goes to the bench with 6.
Well, the second unit last year, as well as this season, when they're out there, you know their strength is they have court trap, and you must prepare for it and be ready to execute it.
Lakers with a 12-point lead with 5 minutes remaining in the first half. Kobe Bryant in the middle. It's a very versatile team the Lakers have. A lot of parts that could be interchangeable. Eldon Campbell misses a left-handed hook. Jackson pulls up at the free throw line. Air ball. Kobe Bryant has Eddie Jones down court. Bryant with a baseline move. That would have been a spectacular basket. A 3-on-4-on-1 now. And LaFonso Ellis completes the play.
Unfortunately, we have not had enough of them in the second quarter, the fast breaking. And the reason is because the Lakers aren't missing many opportunities.
So it's 47-37 in favor of the Lakers, who are trying to go 14-2 on the year. And now the Nuggets are called for their first illegal defense of the game.
Now, this is just his last break. Now, Ellis is looking to drop the ball off to another player. Beautiful pass by Bobby Jackson. Excellent decision, because if he would have tried to lay that one up, Eddie Jones had a good angle for a possible shot block.
Johnny Newman replaces Eric Washington, so the Nuggets get a little bigger now in their lineup. Campbell guarded by Dean Garrett. Garrett had a lot of trouble with Eldon Campbell early on and still having his difficulties. 13 in the game for Eldon Campbell, and he's the high scorer.
Well, when he comes focused, he does that to first-team centers with shot blocking ability.
Trying to get the layup. Danny Fortson can't do it against the bigger Campbell. And again, the Lakers. Horry passes out. Eddie Jones.
Come on, you got to push. You got to keep pushing.
Jones has a 3-point basket, as well as Kobe Bryant. LaFonso Ellis gets the first 3 tonight for the Denver Nuggets. He's got 9 in the game, and the Laker lead cut to single digits.
The reason why you keep pushing is you've got to get easy baskets against the Lakers.
Eddie Jones kind of decoyed a pass and went in with a very picturesque layup.
The thing missing from the Denver ball club is, with so many young guys, is that they are so porous defensively. They don't force turnovers, they don't block shots, and they very seldom steal the ball.
And that's the kind of thing that young players will make, especially when you have 5 rookies being interchanged in the lineup. So it's going to be a learning process and learning on the job for the Nuggets. Jackson with the air ball.
It's 2 in a row.
And the Lakers with another chance. Eddie Jones trying to work against Fortson. And he actually dekes Fortson into committing the personal foul.
Anytime you see Eddie Jones coming down at you in your back and you're a power forward, the easiest thing to do is to foul him so that he doesn't embarrass you, as he takes that one quick crossover dribble, elevates, and dunks on you.
Bill Hanslick with a couple of words of instruction and perhaps encouragement for Danny Fortson, who sits down. Fortson has scored 10 points and has done a good job. He has 3 rebounds, but has been a presence inside. Eddie Jones on the line. He's shooting 2 shots.
When you look at the Lakers, you just think offense. You think power, 3-point shooting, fast breaking. But the key to the Lakers is the defense. They have an outstanding defense. The trap is excellent. Their regular top of the circle to the basket defense is excellent also.
LaFonso Ellis misses from outside, gets the ball back, and there's Bobby Jackson from the corner. He hits, but back on the Lakers. A lot of people are impressed with Showtime, the way they were when Pat Riley was there, but it all started with defense. That was the foundation of that team and this team, too.
Yeah, but there were 3 guys there, Worthy, Magic Johnson, and Kareem. We don't have anybody here of that caliber playing on this Lakers team.
No, we don't, but this is a more exciting team than they've had in recent years, for sure.
Sure.
And a lot of good young players that they can build on. Of course, Shaq not here. He has a strained abdominal, and he may not be back for a while. Not going to be any day, that's for sure. Last touched by the Lakers, and 10 seconds on the clock for the Nuggets.
anyone that you talk to who's within the organization of the Lakers, they like this thing, but they got to have Shaq. And everyone speaks so highly of Shaq, the work ethic and everything else that goes with it.
Newman,
2 minutes to play in the second quarter.
and it's controlled by the Nuggets under 2 minutes remaining in the first half. The Lakers by 11, 53 to 42. And one thing Shaq gives them more than anything is defense. Great play, Tony Batiste with his first basket of the game. Well executed play.
If they can get anything out of Batiste and Garrett, see, those two guys have been quiet offensively. If they can get some points out of these two guys, things could pick up here.
And here is Eldon Campbell going in and stepping on the line. It'll be Denver ball, so a chance for the Nuggets to make a run here in the final minute and a half.
Now, this is just a beautiful pass by LaFonso Ellis. You know, when he was in his prime and doing it, he got 18 to 20 points a game and 9 rebounds in cement every night.
And LaFonso Ellis with 3 assists tonight as well, so he's having a good all-round start. Johnny Newman with a fake on Eddie Jones, and in and out. That was one of Johnny Newman's favorite shots, the jumper from the corner.
He put himself a little bit at a bad angle there, Dick. He was a little behind the backboard. Tough angled shot.
Under a minute to go, and 10 on the shot clock for the Lakers. They're up by 9. Eldon Campbell been a big weapon in the first quarter. Robert Horry crashes the boards, and they're going to call the foul against Horry, and that'll be his 3rd personal foul. A loose ball foul against Horry.
And he's walking right over to the bench.
He knows he's going right to the pine and then to the dressing room. Well, coming up on the Nike halftime report, we'll have scores and highlights as the Bulls paying another visit to the Boston Celtics. More on Latrell Sprewell as Vincent Sherrill are manning things in our studios in Atlanta. Tony Batiste is on the free throw line. Rookie from Texas Tech, was the 5th pick in the draft. Missed 8 games with a sprained ankle. He also had some back spasms, but an outstanding shooter, well over 50%.
One of the coaches was telling me today, he said, this young guy just swallows up all of the instruction. He's coachable. He wants to get better. Just think back, he said 3 years ago, the guy was averaging 2 to 5 points a game at Texas Tech. And he says he has come light years in just 2 seasons of playing basketball.
Joe Wolf comes into the game. He had been starting lately the last 7 games. And Corey Blunt checks in for the Lakers. Tony Batiste with 49.9 on the game clock. Hits the free throw, 53 to 46. The Nuggets have scored 6 in a row to close to within 7 points. Johnny Newman is guarding Kobe Bryant. And Bryant going in strong, tipped away by Joe Wolf. He got a hand on it, and traveling is the call against Kobe Bryant. Del Harris not agreeing with that call.
Well, Del Harris is saying that the ball hit off the defender. That's what he's yelling about. So it can't be a travel. See, he wants to hit right there. Now watch as he comes right up in here now. Well, if you're going to do anything at all, you got to call it a charge.
Right. So nearly a half a minute to go. And the Nuggets still trying to make a final run before intermission. Here is Batiste guarded by Blunt. And Tony Batiste from the baseline. And the rebound by Eldon Campbell. Campbell has 8 rebounds to go along with his 13 points, doing a good job at center. Again, starting in place of the injured Shaq.
If you're a center or a backup forward in this league, and the only game you have is a fall-away jump shot, makes your game, it's so difficult to score at this level. You've got to be able to get in the paint and show some stuff.
Campbell misses with time running out, and a big disparity in the shooting percentage in this game, and yet the Denver Nuggets, who are 1-13 in range. And at the end of the first half here at McNichols Arena, the LA Lakers lead the Denver Nuggets 53 to 46.
Hey, for the LA Lakers, Corey Blunt making a statement, and it is LA with the advantage at the half. We welcome you to the Nike Halftime Report. It's a little logo and a lot of love from us, Cheryl Miller and Vince Giolini here with you. But no love lost at Golden State. More fallout from the Latrell Sprewell attack on P.J. Carlesimo back on Monday. After 2 days without comment, Sprewell speaks. We have some words, and we have them written down. Sprewell saying, I regret what I did, and I wish it never happened, but I've been extremely frustrated and felt P.J. Carlesimo verbally abused me over the last couple of months. This does not excuse my behavior. I would like to apologize to the fans. And Cheryl, this was a statement that you revealed earlier tonight, and certainly this remains a very hot issue in the NBA, certainly with the Warriors.
Well, Vince, I just got off the phone with Arn Tellem, who represents Latrell Sprewell, and he said that the statement given was false and inaccurate, and that he and Latrell will sit down at a later date and possibly consider issuing a statement. Now, Vince, I stand by the information that I received, and I stand by the statement that we issued.
Okay, there it is. Now, one thing we're seeing on a lot of the wire services and a lot of the broadcast reports, that the Warriors are considering terminating the contract of Latrell Sprewell. Some contracts in the NBA carry personal conduct guarantees, which would guarantee the money. If he is cut, if the contract is terminated, he would be paid. If he doesn't have the personal conduct guarantee, he wouldn't have to be paid by the club.
Well, there were certain, I guess, options for the Golden State. They did exercise one by fining him and also by suspending him, and obviously terminating the contract could be an option, but I don't think that will be, because there are only 10% of the top athletes in the NBA have that exclusion clause as far as being a contract guaranteed.
It is a rarity, as was the act itself. Let's get to some highlights now. The Chicago Bulls closing out a 7-game road trip tonight in Boston. The Bulls just a .500 team in their last 10 overall. A mere 3-6 away from home. The Celtics with problems of their own. They lost their last 3. And a real big problem on the floor tonight. Scottie Pippen, maybe out 2 to 4 more weeks? Maybe. That's another story. Michael Jordan, 3-pointer in the third quarter. Bulls up 74-54. Big 20-point cushion. Then Tony Kukoc off the dribble on Walter McCarty.
Oh, Tony with the quick first step off the glass.
Always with the left. Bulls had the big lead there, and here we go. 40 ticks left in this one. In Chicago now, just a 5-point lead. Jordan 29 in the game. Kukoc chipping in with a nice night as well. Seattle at surprising New Jersey. Hersey Hawkins giving it all. Takes a tumble into the first row. Then Gary Payton, one end of the floor to the other. Weaving his way through Nets players, knocks it in. 13 in the first half. Look at Cal's face. Come on, stop that guy. Hawkins with a pass to All-Star Vin Baker. Easy dunk. Vin Baker 17 points at the half. Now they're all knotted at 66 after 3. Vin now with 21 in the game. And no Keith Van Horn in this one. The ankle injury in preseason. The rookie was supposed to debut tonight, but did not. The Nets holding him out. But again, pretty quick game there. Sammy Cassell came back from the road and said, hey, you don't walk all over the Nets anymore. We're a pretty tough ball club.
Well, not only are they a tough ball club, but they are young and talented, and they have a nice veteranship on this team as well. This is a New Jersey team that you don't want to face at home. They're playing extremely well, and Sam Cassell is really at the helm of this team playing well.
And Seattle, tough loss Tuesday night at the MCI Center, Game 1. The Nike Halftime Report returns in a moment with more highlights, including Miami applying direct heat to visiting Philadelphia. You like Ike? You gotta like Ike. And the rest of the Miami Heat, we'll take a look. Back on the Nike Halftime Report, the 76ers got a break from the weather, but not from the schedule. The Atlantic Cellar people pulled into division frontrunner Miami this evening. And Alonzo Mourning saying, maybe I'll be back by Christmas time. But, hey, no hurries, though. Ike Austin doing a heck of a job for the Miami Heat. Austin from P.J. Brown, you know what's next. The big throwdown, 26-17 Heat after 1. Second quarter, Allen Iverson. Reverse from Mark Davis. 45-43 Heat, just a 2-point lead. Then Jamal misses. Ike right there to tip it back up.
Ike?
I like Ike a lot, especially in this game. 20 in the half for Ike Austin, then 26 in the game so far, but a 1-point advantage here as we just start in the fourth quarter. And Allen Iverson, 14 points for visiting Philadelphia. The Suns doing the reverse 76er trip from Valley of the Sun to chilly Auburn Hills, Michigan. And Detroit holding a 5-point lead in the fourth quarter. Kidd with 19. Hill trying to break out, 14-7 and 8 assists. The Suns closing out a 4-game trip. Just underway at Tarjay, and actually they're now at the half. 56-47 Timberwolves with the halftime advantage. Indiana was shooting for a 7th win in 8 games. They'll have to turn it around. Toronto's just a mess. They've lost their last 13. Worst record in basketball. And at Utah, a hot team. The Jazz have won their last 5, and that's a first quarter score. Speaking of the Raptors, they are the subject of a report on Inside the NBA after our game in Denver. Did Isaiah Thomas's departure open the floodgates? Will Thomas protege Damon Stoudemire follow his old boss out of town?
If Damon decided not to come back, what would the future for the Raptors look like without a Damon Stoudemire?
Oh, man, it would be bad. We would go all the way back to year 1 in expansion, no question about that, because if you don't sign him back, I mean, who's going to replace him? Who's going to replace basically 20 and 10 for me every night? That's hard to do in this league, and we would be in trouble. We would be in deep, deep trouble.
Well, more on the Raptors situation in Inside the NBA. Cheryl Miller's report. We'll also have more on Latrell Sprewell in just a moment. There you see the halftime score, and the Lakers with a 7-point halftime advantage. Halftime report, a lot of talk about Latrell Sprewell. Sprewell himself speaks this evening. Went on camera with a San Francisco television station. We are efforting that interview. We will get our hands on it and present it to you during the course of this evening. So stay tuned to TBS for that. It's our halftime score from McNichols Arena. 53-46. Lakers out in front. Dick Hubie and Scott Hastings with the second half in just a moment.
Under broadcasting rights granted by the National Basketball Association. Any publication, reproduction, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the National Basketball Association is prohibited.
Back at McNichols Arena in Denver at halftime, the Los Angeles Lakers lead the Denver Nuggets by a score of 53-46. The field goal story has been in the Lakers' favor, but the main story for the Lakers, 23 points off the bench and 9 rebounds. Kobe Bryant with 10 points and 3 rebounds. And the Nuggets have done well off the bench, but the Lakers doing it tonight. And Hubie, when you consider that one of their key men off the bench, Eldon Campbell, forced to start for Shaquille O'Neal, yet the bench still doing a yeoman job tonight.
Yeah, and you love what Campbell's doing, the 13 points and 8 rebounds. Now, Kobe Bryant showed us not only the points, but the assists and the 3 rebounds, and very quietly, Blount and Fisher made a big contribution.
So the Lakers in front over the Nuggets, a scrappy team indeed. Right now, let's get a report from Scott Hastings.
Thanks, Dick. Talk to both these teams at halftime, and it's pretty simple what they're going to do. Denver says we got to cut down on our turnovers. We got to spread the floor, work on what we worked on today in practice, take care of the ball during the press. Now, the Lakers, they say, Eldon, there's no one can stop Eldon down low. We got to get in low, pound it, and keep the pressure up on the press. So both teams are doing what they did the first half. They just want to do it a little bit better. Back to you guys.
All right, Scott, thank you very much for that report from both coaches. They're the Lakers scoring leaders, with Eldon Campbell leading 3 players in double figures. And the last 10, 7, and 6, all coming off the bench. But Eldon Campbell certainly 6 of 11 shooting in this first half.
Well, he's just too big, too strong, long arms, can shoot over Garrett, and then he's too quick for Priest Lauderdale. But the big thing that Campbell's got to remember, no fadeaway jump shots here unless you absolutely have to. Take the ball to the hole. You can see what he's doing with Shaq out, the 18 points, the field goal percentage, and the rebounding. But, you know, coaching staffs and then people who travel with the team would like to see him even do more than the 18 points and the rebounding.
Yes, for sure. The Nuggets have 1 player in double figures, and he's Danny Fortson, who has 10. And they'll have a few more once we get underway. As we're set to go, the starting forwards for the Lakers, Robert Horry, who picked up 2 early fouls and then 1 late before the end of the half, has 3. So does Rick Fox. So Horry and Fox have 3 points between them and 3 personal fouls each. So they have not been a factor tonight. That's why Campbell's 13 and Eddie Jones with 12. Very important. And, of course, you mentioned Blount off the bench.
That's why when you're deep and you're flexible, you come with Corey Blount, he gave it to you. But then when you want to go small, move Eddie Jones up to the small forward position. You're quicker defensively. You make things happen. You're better in your transition game, as long as the other team does not punish Eddie Jones down inside on post-up. And we haven't seen that yet, Dick.
Again, the bench scoring, and once again, we're talking about those interchangeable parts that the Lakers can use so effectively. So they come out in the third quarter with Nick Van Exel, the point guard, and Eddie Jones, along with Robert Horry, Rick Fox, and Eldon Campbell. And Fox with the basket and the foul. So Rick Fox with 5 in the game.
Well, Nick Van Exel's been very quiet. You know, he's only 1 for 3 in 17 minutes. That was excellent penetration, a beautiful drop-off. You can see he's just picking his spots here this evening.
Danny Fortson with the personal foul, and the Lakers with 3 quick points and a 10-point lead in the opening minute of the third quarter. Fortson bringing the ball up.
Right now, they've got to solve this half-court trap, and they must shoot a higher percentage.
Eric Washington hits the jumper. Washington 2 for 4 in the game. It's an 8-point game. Washington, Jackson with Dean Garrett in the middle, Alfonso Ellis, and Danny Forts in the forward. Van Exel pulls back for three and hits. Nick Van Exel, who came into the game having made more three-pointers than anyone in the league.
Well, anytime that your band, you know, fluffs off you and then gives you range, you know you can't do that with Nick Van Exel because he'll take the three.
There's the passing game, and Bobby Jackson hits. So Jackson and Washington, who have not done much offensively, each have hit jumpers to start this third quarter. It's a 9-point lead.
Well, it's just twice now they've taken the trap, hit the middle of the floor, and looked opposite and have scored.
Eddie Jones feeds out to Campbell. Passes up the shot. Van Exel from outside, and he hits. Nick Van Exel with 5 early points in the opening minutes of the third.
Did we say he's picking his spots?
We did, and his spots are right on the floor.
Yes, right.
7 for Van Exel. And there's the trap. Nuggets have been handling it so far here in the third. Garrett.
They went the wrong way on that one.
Washington for 3, but they won't erase the 3, will they?
You know what they said? By disguise.
By design.
Yes, we went to the wrong corner, but we made up for it with a skip pass.
We meant to do it. Eldon Campbell has his ball bounced through as the shot hit the rim, bounced up. 15 for Eldon Campbell. And now the Nuggets firing away from downtown. Washington hits it and out of bounds. And it'll be a Lakers ball. With nearly 2 minutes gone by, 63 to 53, the Lakers have scored 10 points already here in the third quarter, 4 for 4 from the field.
Well, you know, you look at Denver, you say 3 rookies starting. Cleveland starting 3 rookies. And Cleveland plays 4 guys in their rotation. Denver plays 4 guys in their rotation. And
Nick Van Exel with another 3. Van Exel hits his second. He's got 10 points in the game.
He's just playing with Bobby Jackson right now. He's just showing you his game.
So Nick Van Exel has awakened as an offensive force here in the third quarter. He has scored 8 of his 10 points in the game, and Bobby Jackson barely saves it. 7 on the shot clock. Jackson inside, beating Washington with the basket. Eric Washington now with 9. So you have to say that the Nuggets rookie guards have come up also in the third.
Well, it's nice. They're getting nice movement now because they're ready for the trap. They're getting the ball into the middle of the floor and making something happen.
They haven't really dented the Lakers' lead. It is 11 points with all of the good movement by Denver here in the second half. 1 second on the shot clock. Fox does not get it off. Trying to pass it, was not aware of the clock, which expired, turning it over to Denver.
Well, we say it all the time, Dick. It's the guard's job to let everyone else know where that shot clock is as soon as it hits 6. They've got to yell it out to these other guys because they're playing with their back to that shot clock at their offensive end.
Denver Nuggets starting out the year 0-12. That's the worst start in the franchise history and the second longest losing streak they've ever had. This team has had its glory moments. And a ball kicked away, last touched by the Nuggets, and now they'll say it was a traveling violation, and that will be the call, turning it over to L.A., traveling against Ellis.
We're talking about a very proud franchise here. You know, when you go back before the merger in the ABA with Larry Brown coaching here, they were outstanding. And then later with Larry Brown after the merger, and then Doug Moe, they had teams that would win a ton of games and compete for those division championships. You think of Bobby Jones, David Thompson, Dan Issel, people of that nature.
You're absolutely right. Danny Fortson with the shot. Let's not forget the 93-94 playoffs when Denver was 8-seeded, trailed the top seed Seattle 2-0 in the first round, won the last 3. You always want to remember the image of Dikembe Mutombo lying on the floor, exulting after that victory. Campbell with the shot, misses, and the rebound by Dean Garrett. We understand we have that Latrell Sprewell report from San Francisco. So right now, let's send it back to Atlanta and Vince Cellini. Vince?
All right, thank you, Dick Stockton. Cheryl Miller here along with me. And yes, as promised, we have the interview. Sprewell did at his home Wednesday in San Francisco, talking about the incident back on Monday with P.J. Carlesimo. And we play this interview in its segment for you right now.
You know, I think most of the people out there basically know what happened. My thing is, first of all, I want to apologize to my fans and my family and friends of mine who saw this, and it's definitely not something that I condone, but it did happen. It's a mistake I made, and you know, I'm just trying to move forward right at this point. But PJ and I think it's been known for some time now that we haven't been on good terms, and it's been over a month or so now, and I just couldn't take a lot of the verbal abuse that he has been, I guess, just giving all of the guys over the past month or so. It's not just myself. We have other players on the team that he has also verbally abused, and as well as other teams in the past. So it just got to a point where I couldn't take it anymore.
You just couldn't walk away?
No, I just couldn't walk away.
Do you regret what happened?
Of course I do. I mean, like I said, I don't condone that behavior, but it's something that happened, and I can't change that at this point. The only thing I can do is try to move forward.
Well, Cheryl, maybe part of the process of moving forward would be clearing the air with P.J. Carlesimo. Yeah. I hear Sprewell talk about apologizing to his fans, but not to his coach, the man he attacked.
You know, Vince, what I get from that interview is I do believe that Latrell is sincere in his apology, and he does wish that it never happened, but the fact is it did. And if you notice the interview, you kind of get the sense that, yeah, you know what, I shouldn't have never put my hands on him, and that was wrong, but on the other side, I was pushed.
Well, there's no question that this is a story that continues to develop. We'll keep tabs on it as well. We want to go back to the game right now, though, in Denver, and Dick Stockton.
All right, Vince and Cheryl, thank you very much. The Lakers lead 66-57, 9-point lead. Robert Horry picked up his fourth personal while we were away, and that seems to be the major story right now in the NBA. First, Scottie Pippen with his declarations, and now Latrell Sprewell. So this is something that I don't think is going to go away so fast. We'll take a timeout.
BA on TBS is brought to you by Wendy's delicious spicy chicken sandwich. It'll make you feel warm all over. And by GMC, putting you comfortably in command.
Welcome back to Denver, and you heard Latrell Sprewell in his interview in San Francisco. First, your reaction, Hubie?
First of all, he misses the entire point. You know, forget about the fans, forget about your family, forget about everybody else. You abused a coach. You put your hands around his throat, you strangled him, you knocked him down on the floor, people had to pull you apart, you left the building, came back in, attacked the coach again, and punched him. I do believe that that's the individual that you're supposed to apologize to, and then I don't think you're looking at the seriousness of the repercussions of what this is all about. I think he's missing the point, and it's easy to say, you know, abuse. I do believe that it all was triggered out of a passing shooting drill. So I don't know how much abuse could have started something like that at that time.
And I guess the big major question is there a point in where you can physically attack somebody because of what they're saying to you? And, of course, that will go for your boss in any line of work, I would think.
Yeah, well, you know, forget about sports. Let's just say that anytime that, you know, you're working at the workforce and your instructor, your management level peer gets into your face and starts telling you about the fact that you're not doing your job, that's going to allow you to attack the individual, et cetera, and so forth. Just put this into a business practice or any other type of professionalism that you might be encountered in as an employee. Then, you know, you just don't say, hey, well, you know, we just override this, and I apologize to everyone else other than the individual that it happened to.
I would have liked to have seen him apologize to P.J. Carlesimo. 6:15 remaining in this third quarter, and LaFonso Ellis hits a jumper. The score is 68-59, a 9-point Laker lead. Eldon Campbell with 17 leads 4 players in double figures for the Lakers. Danny Fortson with 12 leads 3 in double figures for the Nuggets. Here's Campbell, low post against Dean Garrett. Campbell with a turnaround, and the rebound taken down by Garrett. Well, the Denver Nuggets continue to lurk in this game. LaFonso Ellis misses a jumper. He was wide open. That would have cut it to 7.
The LA Lakers are on the road. They've got to take care of business. And that was a carry. They get him on a big turnover. But, you know, a lot of guys in this league carry the ball every time they dribble, because that's how they come into the league. They come into the league with the palm and turning it. They cup it and then turn it over. But I guess he emphasized it a little bit too much that time.
Bobby Jackson, LaFonso Ellis, Danny Fortson, Eric Washington, and Dean Garrett. That's the 5 who started the game tonight for the Nuggets. Rick Fox with Blunt, Van Exel, Campbell, and Eddie Jones. And inside, the ball knocked away, and Blunt gets the easy basket at the other end.
No reason for that, Dick. No reason for the guards not being back. And right now, Dave Hansick is calling Billy Hansick is calling a timeout, and he has to. Because where are his guards in a play like this? That was a forward that had a shot block, and they throw the ball to the length of the floor, and another forward outruns your 2 guards.
Many times in the passing offense, that's what you get stuck with. 59 in favor of the Lakers. 5:06 to go in the third. Coming up on Turner Sports, NBA action continues. Friday night, the Jazz and the Blazers. Next Tuesday, the Knicks and the Bulls in Chicago. Both those games on TNT. And a week from tonight, it'll be the Lakers and the Warriors from Oakland on TBS. All games starting at 8 p.m. So you're going to see a good dose of the Western teams, including the Blazers, the Lakers, and our shot at the Golden State Warriors, who right now in a bit of turmoil with the Latrell Sprewell controversy. Here's that trap again, which has worked wonders for the Lakers tonight. Bobby Jackson way off the mark for 3, and it's taken down by Corey Blount. Lakers by 11. Their biggest lead was 13, and the Nuggets had narrowed it to 9. They couldn't get it to less than 9 points. Campbell with 9 on the shot clock. Kobe Bryant fires from the corner, and the rebound, LaFonso Ellis. Washington on the lay-in, and a great pass that time from Bobby Jackson. Again, a 9-point lead. Jackson has 8 assists tonight. Bobby Jackson, rookie from Minnesota. Kobe Bryant firing for 3. And Bryant now shooting in a hurry the last 2 times down.
That's right. The big thing right now is the Lakers. They got to pay attention.
Jackson,
you're on the road, and you hit a little bit of a cold streak. I like this timeout by Del Harris. Came at a good thing. That clock in his head said, hey, 4-0, 6-0, timeout right away.
Here are the last 2 trips for the Nuggets, who down by 7, Hubie.
Now you can see they finished. They're finishing strong in the open play. This is when they're at their best. Young legs, and it's a nice ball fake by Bobby Jackson, and he sends it home.
23 points between the 2, Jackson and...
Definitely, you know, we've learned a lot, and I think that the biggest thing, the guys are always competing. You know, when you lose on the streak and you get down, you always have close games. Guys tend to, oh, here we go again, and just, you know, let down. And guys usually blow you out at the end of games. But that doesn't happen to us, and I think that's very important.
And Johnny Newman, of course, who 12th year is the senior citizen on this team.
Well, Dick, that's why we brought up that point. They've lost 6 games by 4 points or less. That's so difficult to do. And when you have so many young guys, it's difficult for them to get calls in the last 3 minutes, or a lack of a call against an all-star player in the last 3 minutes from a defensive standpoint.
You have to gain respect from everybody, including the officials.
Very good point.
Eldon Campbell from the baseline. 19 for Eldon Campbell, and the Lakers up by 9. LaFonso Ellis now, Washington. Eric Washington and Bobby Jackson both playing a lot snappier here in the second half than they did in the first 2 quarters. 7 on the shot clock. Jackson guarded by Van Exel. Van Exel is going to blanket him. Jackson fires away and hits the 3. Bobby Jackson with his first from 3-point range, and a 6-point lead, and that's the closest since the Nuggets have been since the final moments of the first half.
Well, you know, it's interesting. He's struggling from the 2-point area, and he's shooting over 37% in 3s.
Doesn't figure, does it? Nick Van Exel comes back and matches him with a 3. Van Exel, who has improved his middle game, according to Del Harris. He used to be a 3-point shooter or a driver, doing better in between, but that was his 3rd 3-point basket of the game.
Well, he usually attempts 5 a game, and he's shooting 47% in 3s, and he makes it look so easy, Dick.
That is out of sight for Van Exel, who has 13. Double team on LaFonso Ellis with 2 on the shot clock. They better put this one up. They do. And Eric Washington misses. So with 2:20 remaining in the 3rd quarter, the Lakers are up by 9. Every time the Nuggets have made a bit of a run, the Lakers have kept Denver at arm's length. Van Exel with a reverse, changed hands, and Eldon Campbell picked up the loose ball. Nuggets seem to go to sleep under the boards on that one. Too hard off the glass for Eddie Jones. 2 minutes to go in the 3rd. Here is Johnny Newman. He lays it in, and it's 75-68 Lakers.
Excellent pitch out by Garrett, and a terrific decision by Bobby Jackson, forcing the break. Get that pass to Newman and let him do his veteran move to get that basket.
Looks like these two rookie guards grew up a couple of years between the second quarter and the third. Bryant tried to force it. Eric Washington and Johnny Newman will get a 2. Easy 2, and it's a 5-point game.
Old-time guys who can score in this league, they smell a steal, and they leak out for that long pass.
They can't wait to head the other way.
Great move. This is just a terrific play. This is a good pass out by Garrett, and then a good decision right there by Bobby Jackson.
And the Denver Nuggets with 8 fast break points in this third quarter alone. By only 5 points, and 16 of their 24 here in this third quarter come from these two rookie guards.
Well, at halftime, Dick, they were struggling. Between them, they had 10 points. They were not shooting a good percentage, but they've come to life here with the 16 points in 10 minutes of play. Very impressive.
All right, let's send it over to Scott Hastings.
Thanks, Dick. Had a chance to talk with Bill Hanslick today, and this guy is probably about the most enthusiastic guy in all of Denver as far as the Nuggets go. He said this team plays in spurts. They play good for 3 quarters, but it's that 1 quarter, that 10-minute, that little 12 minutes that we really struggle, and that's why we've lost so many games. But he says he believes in these guys. They're enthusiastic, and as Hubie knows, when a young player starts to get in a role, that enthusiasm takes over, and this team does have a little bit of talent.
And that's why, Scott, they're not as bad as a 1-13 record, which is what Hubie was talking about early on. Kobe Bryant misses inside, and the Denver Nuggets with a 5-point deficit as we round down to a minute to go in this third. Here is Eric Washington for 3. He was anxious to get that 3. He had an open 2, Hubie.
Yeah, he did, and you know, sometimes you just would like to tell him, look, just take the easy shot. We're in a 5-point game. What you did was you extended by stepping back and allowed the defensive guy to come and pressure you into a miss.
57.3 on the clock, game clock, 24 seconds on the shot clock. Johnny Newman trying to fight his way in for a foul, knocked away, and let's see who touched it last.
Well, I tell you, there were 3 white shirts up there banging away, and fortunately for Denver, they come out of it with the ball.
Tony Battie has come into the game, a very active rookie, and a good time for him to come in, I would think. The way the Nuggets have shown a lot of energy. 13 on the shot clock, and a steal by Eddie Jones. Breaking the hearts of the Nugget run, and it's 77-70 Lakers.
Well, he and Horry are both in the top 10 in this league in steals. Eddie gets about 2.5 a game, and you can see he smelled that pass into the middle of the floor.
14 for Eddie Jones. 10 on the shot clock. Under a half a minute remaining in the third. Derek Fisher in the game. He doesn't want Jackson to get off the 3. Jackson loses the ball, and we're going to have a jump ball between Derek Fisher and Bobby Jackson.
Well, Derek Fisher took the challenge. Bobby Jackson told him to clear out. Now here's your steal right there, shooting the gap. A good move by Eddie Jones, and then naturally he sends it through at the other end. But at this end, Bobby Jackson said, hey, I want to clear out, and Derek said right there, you know what, I'm going to play you tough defensively, and cause a jump ball.
6-1 against 6-1 in the tail of the tape on the jump. 19.1 remain in the third quarter. And they're going to jump it again. They're going to do it again.
I'll tell you, there was a collision there. Jackson, Bobby Jackson actually went across the area and really got his legs right into Derek Fisher.
And it's controlled by the Lakers. I'll tell you, those 6'1 guys jump.
Hey, if those two guys are 6'1", you and I are 6'5", okay?
I'd like to be called 6'5", so let's call them 6'1". Final seconds of this third quarter. Kobe Bryant working his way in for the shot. Knocked away by Tony Battie, and he could not get that shot off against Tony Battie, and that is the end of the third quarter. Nick Van Exel with 11 this quarter, 13 in the game. But the 2 rookie guards for the Nuggets keep them in the game. And after 3, the Lakers lead the Nuggets 77-70. Welcome back to the NBA on TBS. Tonight, we're getting a look at the LA Lakers, the best in the West right now. And the leading scoring team with 109 points. But they're going to be hard-pressed to make that, as you look at the score knocked down by quarters. Pretty close, UB, overall.
Yeah, the shooting, L.A. 53%, Denver 46%. The three-point shooting, L.A. 6 for 9, Denver 3 for 11. But the key, L.A. only with 13 foul shot attempts. They usually attempt 34 a game.
Eddie Jones is in the Laker lineup, but he might have been hurt as Johnny Newman hits the jumper. Scott Hastings, what do you have on this?
Yeah, it goes back to what he felt in that first play of the game. I talked to Gary Vitti, the trainer. He said Scotty has a greater trochlear bursitis. He said it's a hip bruise.
Well, I tell you,
And the fact that you could pronounce it was terrific.
You win the Oscar that they awarded during the break to one of the fans. 77-72, Johnny Newman coming off the bench for 13. Remember, he had a big game against Houston with 32 in the losing cause last night and 31 in the victory against Minnesota on Friday, and a foul called against the veteran Johnny Newman.
That was a beautiful strip by Rick Fox. He reached right in, took the ball away from Newman, who was just trying to do a quick crossover.
Rick Fox, who's out there along with Sean Rooks, Eddie Jones, Corey Blunt, and Derek Fisher. So Eldon Campbell, who has 19 points and the leading scorer in the game on the bench right now for the Lakers. Lakers are 5-2 this season without Shaquille O'Neal, 3-2 since his latest injury. And traveling is the call against Blunt.
Well, I like the overall, Dick. When you look at what they did last year without the Shaq, you know, he missed 30 games last year, and they came in with a very, very impressive one-loss record without him. And that is 23-15 in 2 years without the Shaq man.
But as Del Harris so aptly said, he makes me a better coach.
He makes everyone a better coach.
And the feed inside and knocked away.
Needed that.
And that was Tony Battie. Corey Blunt challenging him. Fox behind his back to Derek Fisher. And Battie with the rebound. That was a big rebound by Tony Battie. He's going to be a good one. Johnny Newman in and out. He's had a few of those tonight. And the rebound taken down by Eddie Jones, and a foul is called against Eric Washington. That'll be his third.
Now, they have just had two excellent looks, meaning Denver. You get the dunk, and you get Johnny Newman in an open 17, 18-foot shot. You'd think that they would bury both.
And every time they had a chance to really dent the Lakers with open shots like that, they have come up short. Plenty of time remaining, however. Less than 2 minutes gone by in the fourth quarter. Sean Rooks working in and a foul before the shot. And Tony Battie with his first personal foul.
Well, you've got to get up in on Rooks, because Rooks can put up some numbers. He only plays 14 minutes a game, but he gives you 4 points and 4 rebounds in that time. Del Harris very high on his contribution.
Everything he's asked for, he has done. And he's even started a game for him. There's a runner by Rick Fox. He has 8 points in the game, and the Lakers lead 79-72.
Dick, every time you think they're going to get over the hump, they just can't get it done.
And this is a young team. And a foul. Rooks fouls Danny Fortson. And that is the first team foul on the Lakers here in the fourth quarter. The Nuggets already have chalked up 3.
Anytime that the Lakers are in their defense from the top of the circle to the basket, very little double teaming on the post. They're staying with these perimeter guys, and they're telling these post people, let's see if you can beat us one-on-one.
Anthony Goldwire is the other guard in there with Eric Washington. Danny Fortson spins his way in. Right around with Rooks. Danny Fortson.
Dick, he's the only guy who showed that he has a game with his back to the basket in this game.
First team All-America at the University of Cincinnati. Sean Rooks coming in. This is the first against Battie, and is fouled. And Battie with his second quick one, and Rooks will go to the free throw.
Well, you can see that Battie is big and thin, but what he's got to do, when your man takes a jump hook, you've got to put your body right into his chest and then knock him out of there. Battie went for the ball, and instead Rooks just went right up over the top of him and got that rebound.
Rooks a 57% free throw shooter this year. Gives the Lakers a 6-point lead. He has 1 left.
One part of the Laker game that's bad is the foul shooting. But you know, Dick, there are 7 teams in the NBA shooting under 69%. 7. Unheard of.
That's just practice, isn't it?
Yes, and it's unheard of, really.
Under 9 minutes remaining in the fourth. It's a 6-point lead for the Lakers, and Eric Washington lost it off his foot. And on the turnover, the Lakers will get it back. So Bill Hanslick has to live through the youthful mistakes made by the Nuggets. LaFonso Ellis, a veteran, will replace Tony Battie in the Denver lineup.
Well, when LaFonso Ellis was at his best, he played power forward here and made a terrific contribution. When they had Mutombo at the center position, LaFonso Ellis, and then you had Dale Ellis at that small forward spot. They were really tough. So they moved him in on Rooks to play Rooks in the post-ups.
Ellis, of course, has been hampered by injuries, missed so many games the last 3.5 years. Pushing foul is the call, and the Nuggets are in the penalty. That is Eric Washington's 4th personal foul. He's got 4. Robert Horry, who has been no factor tonight on the bench, has 4 for the Lakers.
Yeah, what you had there was a silly foul. And you always got to get on young guys about that. What are you putting your hands on this guy for? If you once he puts that ball down on the floor, use your forearm. It's a stronger area of your body.
Lakers are in the penalty with 8 minutes and 39 seconds to go. And they lead by 8 points. So the Nuggets made a run. They got it to within 5. And a pushing foul. And Corey Blunt with his 3rd. Plenty of time remaining, but for the Nuggets, these are key possessions, Hubie, because if they don't make a run and they get back to the 10, 12-point thing, they may not get another shot again. Fortson, no basket, fouled before the shot.
Well, he's being consistent, and you can see this is Rook's problem. Anytime Rooks commits a foul, the majority of them, the vast majority, are because he has both hands on a guy. That was a foul in the 70s. 2 hands on a guy. That isn't something new. And you're going to see it right there. Fortson is very active. He uses that 260 pounds in there.
3rd team foul against the Lakers as you look at the number of fouls committed. Fortson nearly gets the basket as well as the foul. And if he keeps pounding in there, and remember the Lakers without Shaq don't have a key defensive man down the middle, as Del Harris well knows.
Well, you can see he comes in here and he uses a drop step power move, and he's going strong. And you can see that the lack of lateral movement by Sean Rooks is putting him in a degree of difficulty, and he's ending up fouling. Now they take him out of the game, and they come back with Elton Campbell, taller, longer arms, better shot blocker.
Foul was on Rick Fox, his 4th. Fortson 2 of 4 at the line and has now 15 points and 5 rebounds. Well, tomorrow on TBS, Gene Hackman and Patrick Swayze star in Uncommon Valor, part of Movies for Guys Who Like Movies. Tomorrow night beginning at 8:05 Eastern, only on the Superstation. Parental discretion advised. Danny Fortson makes it a 6-point game, 82-76, with 8:14 remaining in the 4th quarter.
Well, he's done a good job, Dick. You know, we said coming into this game, he's played in 14. He scored in double figures on 7 occasions. So he's showing us his game tonight.
16 tonight, 22 last night against Houston. Derek Fisher with a fine lay-in. Gone against the big guys, and an 8-point Laker lead.
You hate it when a guard comes down the lane and shoots it right up in front of your big people.
Pat Riley would not let him get away with that, would he?
No, well, you know, you always tell your guys, no layups. You got to foul them and put them on the line. Make them make the foul shot.
So now the Lakers in a position to open up a double-digit lead once again. Eddie Jones has it slapped away. Johnny Newman with the promo. He takes a bad pass to Goldwire. And the turnover immediately sends it back to the Lakers.
Tough pass. It's very difficult to throw the ball to a guy on the same plane as you, up ahead of you, because you cannot gauge his quickness. And he threw it with one hand. And, you know, you can never pull them back unless you're Dr. J or Connie Hawkins resurrecting a few guys. Right? You know,
we don't see them here tonight.
No, because they held the ball in their hand like it was a baseball.
Here's Elton Campbell. Has it blocked and a foul against Garrett. That'll be 4 on Dean Garrett.
Yeah, this league has a funny way of paying you back. When you have a fast break opportunity and you miss a layup or you make a turnover, the other team usually scores quickly at the other end of the floor.
Eldon Campbell going to the line, and they now say the foul is against LaFonso Ellis. The two of them were around Campbell. Ellis picking up his third foul as Campbell makes the first. Well, Inside the NBA will be coming up after our broadcast tonight. Scores and highlights. More on Latrell Sprewell. And Cheryl Miller joining Vince Cellini in the studio, and a feature on the Toronto Raptors. Campbell with a double-double tonight. 21 points, 11 rebounds, and the Lakers are up by 10 with 5 minutes gone by here in the fourth quarter.
Still plenty of time on the clock here. Within striking distance, but you've got to make them pay.
Goldwire misses a three, and the Lakers can extend their lead. Shot selection, very important when you're a young team. As Corey Blunt, watch out, stand back. Blunt stuffs it through, and a timeout called by Bill Hansley.
Excellent timeout. They've been trapping that screen and roll, and the roll guy has hurt them all night long. Now watch the trap. See, they trap. There's no one coming to pick up the roll man, and it's been there all 4 quarters.
Hill, Suns of the Pistons. This is in overtime. Nash with a basketball, looking for Danny Manning. Manning to win. Doesn't go. We head to double overtime now at the Palace between Phoenix and Detroit, tied at 91. Grant Hill with his second triple-double of the year. We'll keep an eye on this one for you. Back to Denver.
All right, Vince, thank you very much. The Phoenix Suns are in second place percentage-wise behind the Lakers, but they are 2 games behind the Lakers. Seattle, with a poorer percentage than Phoenix, is actually third, 1 game out. One of those ports in the standings as you take a look at the Suns and the Sonics, the big challengers of the Lakers, Hubie.
Well, you can see that the Suns are having a great start. And let's remember now, they have 10 excellent players on their first and second units. And in the pickups of McDyess and Cliff Robinson, and you didn't give up anything in return as far as a player, you've added power to your team. And
McDyess, of course, who played here with the Nuggets and traded for a #1 next year from Phoenix, a #1 from Milwaukee in '88 or '89, and 3 other picks. And this team loaded, as you pointed out, with #1s and some #2s as well.
Wow, next 2 years. The next 3 years, 6 first-round draft picks, and they're under the cap.
Johnny Newman passes inside to Dean Garrett, and a foul inside. And you've got to remember that they're not going to use and keep all of those draft picks. They have a lot of young players, 5 rookies already, but you can use them in trades for the right player to build your team.
You use a player that you have and a first-round draft pick, depending upon where the pick is, and all of a sudden you might be able to get something, you know, very tempting and a very outstanding player to come here. Then, because you're under the cap and free agency can deliver to you another guy, all of a sudden, boom, you're in business here.
And that's why you can rebuild a team. Foul was on Corey Blunt, his 4th, and Garrett makes both free throws. The Lakers lead by 10, nearly halfway through this 4th quarter. Derek Fisher, guarded by Bobby Jackson, is back in the game. Eldon Campbell, a leading scorer, out on the top. Rick Fox is in there, well with Corey Blunt. And here is Nick Van Exel hitting a 3. That's his 4th 3-point shot of the game, and so he continues to sizzle from long range.
And he does it without any effort at all.
4 for 4 tonight from 3-point range, as the Lakers shooting an incredible 70% from beyond the arc.
Moving the line back 1 full step did not affect Nick Van Exel's high percentage shooting.
Good point. It did affected a lot of people, but not Nick Van Exel, and he's called for the blocking foul on LaFonso Ellis.
Now this is just a smart move by Campbell. He took his time and waited till Van Exel was able to get right into that corner. Now we all know the corner is the easiest place in the 3 in the NBA. It's only 22 feet to that spot.
Talking to Del Harris about his relationship with Nick Van Exel before the game, and he said Van Exel had promised that he was going to keep things under control, respect authority, and he says he has lived up to it. He says, we're not trying to hide anything that's going on behind the scenes. He has lived up to his promise.
Yeah, well, a major step here has been maturity, because I like what Van Exel said. I don't get into any problems off the court. I only have had problems on the court. And you know what? Yes, you have. That's correct.
And Fisher gets the basket, And the foul, Derek Fisher. And the interesting thing, getting back to Van Exel and Del Harris, is that they have had a rapport in talking about golf. Because Van Exel now is playing golf. Del Harris also has been a golfer, and so that's a relaxing sport with a lot of patience. And so it's good for the two people, the coach and the player, to talk about something other than basketball in their relationship.
He must be taking some psych courses, you know, over the summer.
I'm a very busy guy. Lakers get it back on the turnover, leading 93-79. Rick Fox and Corey Blunt on the outside, and here is Derek Fisher.
Yeah, back it out and get into what's been good for you.
Psych courses, you know, can help you in a lot of areas. You'd be surprised. Here's the long pass to Eldon Campbell, and he gets the basket. Fisher to Campbell, and Eldon Campbell now with 23.
That was done with eye contact. That was a back screen by Derek Fisher up onto Campbell's man, and then they read the pass beautifully.
And Johnny Newman going in, and a Laker foul on Eldon Campbell.
Now keep an eye. There's going to be a back screen. Now watch it. Fox comes up on the back screen. Now just watch as Campbell goes right to the front of the rim. Derek Fisher delivers the ball right to the front. Excellent read. Good eye contact. Derek Fisher and Campbell.
Well, the Nuggets made a run, got it to within 5 points, missed some open shots, and the Lakers quick to take advantage with their alertness, leading 95-80 right now as Johnny Newman makes the first. And here's John Barry, the former Atlanta Hawk, who saw considerable action the other night against Philadelphia.
John Barry's been in 11 games, Dick, 11 out of 14. You know, Dell likes what John Barry can do. They're trying to get him to play a little point guard as well as two, because they like his athleticism, his passing ability, and the fact that he sees the court and he can hit the three-point shot.
Against the Sixers in 14 minutes, had 5 assists and no turnovers. Here's Eldon Campbell with 4.5 minutes remaining with the hook shot. Campbell having a big game, 25 points, and the Lakers are headed to a 6-2 record without their big guy Shaq in the lineup. Lakers 7-11 shooting from the field this quarter. Denver only getting 6 shots before that basket. That was scored by Newman, who has 17. There's Van Exel, who is 4 for 4 from three-point range, and he's got a fifth. 5 for 5 for Nick Van Exel, burning it up from the stripe, the outside stripe, 19 points. And the Lakers go over the 100 mark, which they've done with regularity this year, 100-83. Bobby Jackson misses a three-point attempt.
Now, see, Hanslick's got to talk to Jackson. See, Jackson is upset that Vic Van Exel made him look bad.
So I'll do it.
That's exactly right. With 18 seconds on the shot clock, and Hanslick was very upset when he took that shot. Well, if you're one of the other 4 guys playing with him, you're really upset.
Van Exel inside, and Van Exel feeds Corey Blunt, and the route is on. The Lakers, who were kept in the shadow of the Nuggets for most of the game, running away with this fourth quarter, Hubie.
Yeah, well, Van Exel, anytime that he wanted to, he's just turned it on, and he's just abused Bobby Jackson off the dribble all night long. Created once again, dropped it off, and then Blount moving. You can see he's a happy dude tonight, and anybody who's 5 for 5 in threes, he can do any kind of a dance he'd like.
Why not?
Confidence, it's the world of difference down that stretch you have in June and May and June. You know, if you can give guys confidence early, they're going to have confidence later. And that's the key for us right now, just building confidence in guys like Sean, Corey, Kobe, all the guys that's coming off our bench.
And they've delivered tonight to the tune of 36 points, and Bryant and Blount with 12 apiece, Fisher with 11.
All of the things that are supposed to happen good for them happen here this evening. They showed us their three-point game. They showed us their post-up game. They showed us their transition game. And then defensively, they showed us their trapping game.
It was a Laker display tonight, no question about it, leading 102-83 with just under 3 minutes remaining in the game. The Lakers shooting 56% from the field. They went into the game leading the NBA at 49%. John Barry Tried to pass it, but there were no Lakers around, and 3 seconds on the shot clock for the Lakers to get a basket attempt. Van Exel looking for a man. Barry has it, fires a 2-point attempt, but an air ball, and the 24-second clock expired as the ball failed to hit the rim or the backboard.
I'm surprised that Van Exel missed Fox. Fox was wide open, cutting right to the front of the rim, but he missed him. Just incompleted.
There is Jackson getting around Van Exel. Tony Battie into the game. Eric Washington, there's Battie out, jumping everyone, fighting his way in, and finally drawing the foul. And I guess he's going to pick up some more muscle and as the years go on, and not only is he going to be a leaper, but he can a little more strength too.
Well, he's 6'11", 240. They've added some weight to him, Dick, but as you can see, he needs so much more. And then also in the lower body, in order to hold his area against the power forwards in this league. Now, he is exciting. You have to look at this guy and say, you picked him 5th in the draft, first round. You expected a lot out of him. You played 14 games. He's missed 8 games, along with all of the other problems that they've had here. So, you know, I like this team. This team is nice, and they're going to cause a lot of problems in this building in the second half of the season.
They're a spunky team. There's no question about it. And their coach, you know, they play the way he sets the mold, and that's the way Bill Hanslick always plays.
Anytime that you coach a team that has talent, but they're young and inexperienced in that, the coach has got to be one of these. You have to be upbeat every single day, totally positive, and come and develop the talent.
Sean Rooks and Mario Bennett. It is the second year from Arizona State. Bennett seeing his first action tonight. John Barry hits the shot. And I tell you, Hubie, it's great that we have an opportunity to see teams, even a 1-13 team, to at least see what they're like. We know they're not winners. We know they have to develop, but you see a little bit of what they're all about, even though they are suffering through the losing pangs now. Turnaround shot missed.
Dick, a good example is, that was a nice tee. After tee. That was nice. Hey, big fella, way to send it down. Let's hope you can go to foul line and make the foul shot. See, a lot of people, when we did the Cleveland game a couple weeks ago, what's the difference between Denver and Cleveland? You're going to see this missed shot here right now. And then the Sega. Now, let's go back to the Cleveland point. They have Sean Kemp. You don't have Sean Kemp here. You don't have a guy who, when you throw it into, commands a double team. That opens up all kinds of shots for everybody else. Even though Kemp has been, you know, up and down, but he's still a physical force while he's on the floor. And then, how about adding a person to that group, a guy who can get you 30 points? See, they don't have that here right now.
And Eric Williams would have been their go-to guy.
And how about Brian Stitt?
Brian Stitt. So,
sure.
And the shot and the miss by Mario Bennett, and he'll go to the line. But that's why it is so easy when you look at the standings. And we're going to see the Golden State Warriors next week. And, of course, they've got a little problem right now, a major problem. But you look at a team's record, and you say, the team is, boy, they're terrible. They only have 1 win, or they only have 2 wins. Then you find out they've got 5 rookies. They got key people hurt. They have a future if they make the right managerial decision.
Well, also, the fact that the Golden State Warriors have played so many games on the road.
Right.
They have not been at home for any extended period of time.
Mario Bennett has the shot blocked. Not as many on the road as those Washington Wizards who finally got to their home last night, huh? Marty Aronoff was there. Abe Poland's best friend, apparently, and he was as happy as anyone to see the new home for the Washington team.
The president was fighting for time with Marty Aronoff with Abe Poland. You know that. Come on. We both know that.
Well, it was a big night in the nation's capital. President Clinton on hand, and of course we hope you saw that telecast on TNT last night.
They looked good.
Yes, they did.
Washington looked good last night. They were after it. Probably the best defensive game that they've had for the entire season, and you can see why they've won so many road games. But the people in Washington had to see it themselves. Sellout crowd. It was very nice. The building looks like it's a beautiful place to play, and let's hope that this ball club can step forward and play the way that people thought they would.
More on Latrell Sprewell. He finally had something to say for the record. at the San Francisco station. We'll have that on Inside the NBA coming up next. George Zedek, who is another acquisition from the Charlotte Hornets along with Goldwire, has come in the game in the trade. Van Exel a little bit out of control, but he can do it tonight. 5 for 5 from three-point range for Nick Van Exel. Johnny Newman with a reverse layup. And with 48.9 remaining in the fourth quarter, the Lakers lead is 105-89. And Eldon Campbell with a season's high 25 points. 6 players in double figures for the LA Lakers. And Mario Bennett is fouled inside. And as you pointed out, we are seeing vintage LA Lakers tonight.
Oh, they're looking good. The total game is there. And one thing that we're seeing is the depth. The depth is legit. They can come in and they can continue the type of play that Del Harris is going with at the moment. And a lot of second units cannot do that. A lot of second units disrupt things because they have to play a different style because of a lack of talent.
Mario Bennett with both free throws on the bench. Eldon Campbell leaves the game, and he is our Bud player of the game with his 25 points, a season high, 11 of 18 shooting from the field, and 12 rebounds. And he set the tone early for the Lakers when he hit 5 of his first 6 shots and really outplayed Dean Garrett in the middle.
Well, that was the big mismatch of the night, no doubt about it. Garrett, you know, has been very good here. 11 points, 10 points and 11 rebounds a game in the top 10 in rebounding, but he was neutralized here this evening.
Johnny Newman with 19, the leading scorer for the Denver Nuggets, and they had 5 players in double figures. And the final score, the Lakers come within 2 of their season scoring average. They defeat the Nuggets tonight 107-89. For the Lakers, they are now 14-2 on the year, and the Denver Nuggets now drop to 1-14. And right now, let's send it over to Scott Hastings.